Welcome to a quick introduction to Sage Service Operations for Construction, our newest cloud-based offering in Sage 100 Contractor. In today's construction environment, it is more important than ever to be able to accurately keep track of where your construction team is scheduled to work and to capture all information in the field about what is happening. And with Sage Service Operations, we put that power in your hands. Now, Sage Service Operations has always been about extending your service receivables module at a Sage 100 Contractor. But now, with our latest release, you no longer are tied to having service management or service receivables. You can now run this directly with your Sage 100 Contractor in order to capture your daily field reports and all of your construction crew's time, whether it's individuals entering time for themselves or your foreman entering time for them. Plus, we've added extra pieces into this to allow you to dispatch out to your entire construction team, so therefore you could schedule out and know where everyone's going to be. In this case, if I'm working with the service receivables module, I could still use the dispatch board to add all my work order information to my team of technicians. But now we also allow you to pick your jobs right at a Sage 100 Contractor and schedule out your different cost codes to your different people with a quick view of what's estimated in Sage in your budget, what your actual hours have been, and to give you a nice little plus or minus so that you know where the delta is when you're saying, I need to send out Jim to go do some slab prep tomorrow. Now, if I wanted to add some other work here, I absolutely can schedule any of this construction time to different people. Let's say tomorrow I'm going to go work some concrete. I'll schedule this out to myself on Tuesday, and I can drag out the entire job out to Friday to say I'm going to be doing concrete for that whole week. But more than that, I can say, what are my vendors, my subcontractors that are going to be working with me? What are they going to be doing? And I could schedule them out. Or my equipment. Now knowing where my forklift is on which job each week. And again, I can switch this out just like in the past to 2-week view, to day view, to month view, so I can see exactly where everyone is, where they're scheduled to be at any given point. And now, besides scheduling out all your jobs and the cost codes for your different people that are working and your equipment, I also can come in here and either as an individual user or as a foreman and enter time. Let's first talk about the individual users. If I myself were to come out and say Monday, I have to come out to Williams Post Office and do some foundation form work. I can, right from my assignment screen, see exactly where I'm supposed to be in at one time, and I can quickly say, hey, I'm starting this work. And we have two options. I can do a punch in and punch out, where the system will GPS put down where I was when I started the clock, where I was when I took a break, where I was when I took a lunch, and where I was when I completed the particular cost code that I'm working on. Or I can just straight enter the time. I worked 3 hours at this cost code. Either way is going to work for you. You could set it up how it's worked best for your company and even have your foreman enter it for your people as needed. So as I complete this particular job or I go ahead and suspend it or put myself on break, I can absolutely control what I'm doing on that job as an individual user. Or maybe I went in to do some shop time. I can enter in my any time that I had to work. So with this, I could say I worked today on no job, regular time, doing shop if I happen to have a particular pay group for that, and I worked hours, 4 hours today in the shop. Or I had my vacation time, and I record vacation, sick time, construction time. You name it. This system now can be your entire field-based time capture system for all your different people in the field. And if you happen to be a foreman coming in here to work on a particular job, I can have my assignment, but I can also assign out my entire crew and do an action of all people start, all people break, all people lunch, all people complete. The idea is I can now record what everyone's doing on my project and capture all of their cost codes and what are they doing on a particular job site. And the beauty is everything is automatically live, pushing back into my Sage daily field reports or daily time entry, depending upon how I'm entering it. Speaking of daily field reports, another piece of the software is I can create a field report right from the field and have it push that information back into Sage 100 Contractor for me. So when I get the weather and I say it's raining and the temperature happens to be 52 degrees, I can generate that field report here for the job. As it generates, it's also going to let me fill in all the fields that would normally go into Sage 100 Contractor, whether or not that's putting the different assignments for the different technicians or employees that I had working with me, marking out what equipment I brought into the job, or vendors. I can also say what notes, if there was any visitors that came in that I want to record what they said or did, if there was any safety instances, or just straight track those here on the incident report. I had an incident, and it was a injury, and I'll say Bob got hurt, and I say what time. So in this case, 5:34 p.m. or a.m. Save the instance, and this goes into the system. The whole daily report here is going to allow me to do everything, including what equipment was out at the job. Maybe I was using my forklift and time used. We used the forklift to work some of the wall framing, and we operated it for 2 hours. It stood by for 1, and it was idle for the rest of the day at 5. I may even use this for heavy highway. If you happen to be that type of user, you can use this to track your units. If I happen to be laying down how much concrete or asphalt, I could say how many units I captured and push that back. This could be used for any type of unitary billing, if you're using that at all, or just to track what is completed today on each bid item I've had. And once again, putting in my labor for my entire crew, what we did. Maybe we did some slab prep on regular time for 2 hours today. The whole crew did that, and we can record each one, again, as a foreman would do for their job each day. And all of this time is pushing back into Sage. If I open up my Sage 100 Contractor, I could view all this information by going into my job reports or going to my document control daily field reports, and that DFR that I just created will be right here available to me. Williams Post Office, raining 52 degrees, my group of people, how many hours they worked, what equipment did I use, and how many units. Again, it's all live with my Sage data, including being able to bring in all of that time into the daily payroll. I can pull that up here to see the earlier entry that I made when I just did my regular hours at the shop. Everything's put in live so that you, as a person in the back office, can know exactly what your operations people are doing in terms of time, in terms of daily field reports, and, of course, being able to look at the dispatch schedule and see exactly where you're supposed to be for the next day, week, 2 weeks, or month. All this information is now available within Sage 100 Contractor using the Sage Service Operations. So if you'd like a little bit more information on this, please email our Sage team at cresales@sage.com, talk to your Sage business partner, or call 800-858-7095. And thank you for your time.